Hi, my love. It's Jarae, Milay, the girl from around the way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all again with a community chat. Now, today I have somebody who I kind of came across on TikTok, and I was really kind of interested in his perspective. We have Abdul Aesthetics, and he's amassed over 200,000 followers on TikTok. He's here also on YouTube, following his weight loss journey and just, commentary and everything like this. He's somebody who's passionate about positivity, health, and personal growth. And I feel like, again, he piqued my interest. So I wanted to kind of talk to him today and kind of get into a couple of things. Now, Abdul, thank you for being here. I want to say I appreciate you. We talked briefly before we started recording about how I slid into your DMs. Okay. And sometimes, the purpose of me doing this is because I feel like as creators in this digital space, like we have to be out here, like, being among the people. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
just never know. And I'm all about connections. And he has this really good like insight and perspective that made me want to say, I like a conversation with this guy. And I'll probably will play some of his TikToks and videos right here. Um, and so, Abdul, again, thanks for joining me today. And one of the main videos that kind of interests me in your whole content was about Quan Mills, or is Kwani Mills, whatever his name is, y'all. And if y'all don't know who he is this. I don't want to say terrible. I don't want to keep calling me in trash because his art is his art, and he might be sensitive about his shit. But
Yes.
he talks a lot about, like, on Facebook, you probably seen him like, my preacher ate my ass. Like he do all of these like wild, like really weird graphic novels, but like in the worst way, sleeping with my girlfriend's baby mom, like just weird shit. And
Yeah.
so he went on, I guess he lost a lot of weight. I don't even know. And so Abdul came on with this really like insightful video about mindset and how it's connected to weight loss. And he's still a fat man in his body, you know what I'm saying? And I've thought about it in reverse. And for instance, I know a lot of girls who get the BBLs and now they're the BBL baddie, but deep down they still that fat girl, you know what I'm saying? And so you see that in ways and show up how they talk about with men and this that, and the third. So I wanted Abdul to be here today, not to just talk about that, but just to give us his perspective. So Abdul, I told you before I'm long-winded, so I wanted to kind of talk to you really quickly about what made you interested in talking about the connection between weight loss, transformation, and mindset.
Well, again, appreciate you for having me on. Sorry for that. But the thing is like after seeing a lot of people go through like a weight loss journey, and it's like, yeah, that's cool to say, um, for like shock value because everybody responds to that. But it's really how you change your lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? And seeing all these people go up and down and up and down and trying to figure out, and then having my own personal struggle where it's like I'm going up, I'm going down, I'm just like, where's the middle ground? I can't really find anything right here. And then I realized it's like just saying, okay, hey, I'm going to lose X amount of weight in X amount of time. That's cool to say, but you have to change the way you view not just food, but the way you view things like sleep, the way you view things like your stress levels, the way you view things like, the people that you have around you. All of these things go into you, and it just comes down to the way you think about life itself. So, like what you said, with the young ladies who go and get the BBLs, and then they're still fat in their heads. Yeah, that's because you changed your body like that, but you didn't do the training necessary to condition the way you view life. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
if you go out here and say, because I even said this on one of my YouTube videos, um, where I said I just come on here and I say I make these grandiose statements like 100 pounds 6 months it'll be gone, 100 pounds this blah, blah, blah. And it's like necessarily a lot of people aren't necessarily ready for what comes along with that, because pretty much if you have to lose a bunch of weight in a short amount of time, is it possible? Yes. Is it healthy? You know what I'm saying? That's where the gray area comes in. And so until you are able to change the way you view life itself, and then as it pertains to your own fitness goals, that's when you'll truly start to make like progress. Again, not with just your weight and stuff like that. So that's why I felt like a lot of people needed to hear stuff like that, because nobody's really going to tell you that. It's kind of like how you went to high school and nobody told you anything about taxes. Nobody told you how to start a business. Nobody told you how to pay bills. But they put you out into the world like, hey, figure that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really saying anything like that. So I just felt like, maybe I could say this, that, and the third. So that's where I came in.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that that's it's so real. And, we talked about it briefly about it sounding cliche and cheesy. But for real, y'all, it's really a mindset. It's really like you have to mentally prepare for, and mentally condition yourself to align with whatever it is that you're going after, and, I feel like we're all about to be on this wave of, new year, new me. I'm about to unbig my back and da 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 da, this, that, and the third. But more importantly, we need to change our relationship with food, right? We need to change our, self-talk. We need to change even like you said, our stress levels and our sleeping habits, because it's bigger than just, I want to look good and snatch with a 2-pack and everything like this. We want to actually start making change that we can sustain, and that it actually matters. And I like how you did that, like tied everything in together, because even in the digital space, like we have all of these things about like how are people getting to this level, or how is she losing this weight, or how does she get these followers? A lot of shit changes when it changes in our minds first. You know what I mean? Like you can't make that shit up. And I think I was excited about having this conversation because it's really starting to dawn on me like, oh damn, I really did change my mind. And then like when you change your mind, you can start to change your life, y'all. I want to kind of just reiterate how important, no matter how cheesy or how corny it is, it really is. Y'all know me, regular degler, like round the way. You know what I'm saying? It's really the ticket. It's really the secret sauce. It's your mindset. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. I wanted to maybe see what you thought a little bit about um and this might be a little messy. It's okay. But I was looking at your TikTok again, and I was seeing that you were talking about like the double standard, um, the double standard in men and women. And it was a conversation about Little Rocky, maybe not Little Rocky, what's his name? ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
Wow, ASAP Rocky. Not Little Rocky.
Yeah. I always,
ASAP Rocky. You like, who the hell is that? ASAP Rocky being a bum since he is Rihanna's baby dad and everything like this. And we see kind of like Holly and DDG kind of going through this. They want to call DDG the bum, and he's terrible, and he trapped her. And I don't know if you're aware of what's going on in all of the inner workings, but basically everybody is like, Holly, you let this trap you. You got this baby, and he a bum. But I don't see it like that. A lot of women do. I feel like he a father. You know what I'm saying? He loves his kid and da 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 da. I'm not a follower of DDG, but whatever. And I want to know what you think about that. If you have anything to share, if you don't, that's cool. But do you? I guess it is kind of like a double standard, but I want to hear your thoughts from like a male's perspective.
well, I mean, the reason I made that video is because I've been okay. Let me preface this by saying I am a serial blocker. Like I just don't talk about it. Like if people post certain things that I'm not, too keen on, I'll give you a chance here and there. But when you make your entire personality online something that I vehemently disagree with, I just be like, I don't need to see this anymore. I don't need to tell the world I'm doing this. I just don't need to see it anymore. And so that is something that kind of fell down the pipeline with me, because this young lady was like, oh my God, Rihanna, Kiki Palmer, who else? Sky Jackson? Is that her name?
That's her
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they're getting trapped by these guys who are bums. And I was like, okay, whoa, 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 whoa. ASAP Rocky's been hot for a very long. He's been hot since like what? Excuse me, 2011.
2010. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this guy's been relevant ever since then, and he's got a big following, lots of money, lots of good stuff going on for him. I don't see how he's a bum just because Rihanna makes what, $1 billion from her makeup line or something like that, whatever it is. These that doesn't make sense to me. But these other guys, it's like I believe, and you have to let people make their own decisions. You see what I'm saying? So if these guys don't live up to the standard that you would want to be, the guy that you would be with, then it doesn't really make sense for you to get upset for somebody else who doesn't even know you, who'll never know you, if they're happy with the outcome that they get from the decisions that they made. You see what I'm saying? And it's just a lot. This is one of those things was like it's kind of a slippery slope, because as soon as you start talking about this, everybody gets offended. But it's
Mhm.
like a lot of women say stuff like that. They say stuff like, "Oh well, oh, this guy sucks and he's not this and he's not that." But these guys are taking care of their families. They
Right.
may not live in the same household, but they're taking care of their kids. And it's like you want them to be as miserable as you are, because either you never had that or you decided you didn't want that and you want this lady to be the way that you want her to be. That doesn't work that way. We all have our own individual lives. You see what I'm saying? So to call a guy a bum because he may not make as much money as the lady that he had a kid with, or he may not be as known as the lady he had a kid with. But it's like men have been doing that since the dawn of time, right? It's like
Mhm.
if women historically date up, that means that men historically date down. And see, men, we don't even feel the need to talk about stuff like that, because this is just what we do, right? It doesn't matter if you make more money than me, just as much money than me, less money than me. Do I like you? Are we cool? So what's the term nowadays? Do we vibe very well? Okay, then none of that shit matters. None of that
Mhm.
stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in
Mhm.
a relationship for almost 10 years that I rarely talk about, and we've been cool for the entire time. So, because none of that superficial shit. Oh wait, let me stop. I'm saying words like shit and stuff like that. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, you can, sure.
Okay, yeah, none of that shit matters. Um, and so I just felt the need to make that video, is like to tell people, hey man, just mind your own business, right?
Mhm.
Everybody, like this right here, this microphone, everybody feels like they're entitled to opinions about other people. You're entitled to your opinion about yourself and maybe the people that you know. But
Right.
all of these other people, let these people live their lives, right? You keep worrying about why this person has a kid with this person. Or that does it matter? It doesn't really matter. And then your opinion is most. I feel like most of the people who make those opinions, they don't even feel that way. They're just saying whatever's popular, and that is something, that's a whole nother conversation in and of itself, in my opinion.
No, I agree because people are just out here saying stuff to trying to go viral, and just the whole virality of it. But I do want to say, like, especially with like somebody like a Rihanna and somebody like a Holly, I feel like we as the consumers or just general public have a lot of parasocial relationships with these girls, and so it's like it may not even be that he's a bum. It's just that they have Rihanna exalted to the highest degree and expect for her to be with some billionaire like Kamora Lee Simmons or Naomi Campbell or somebody. So they can't really fathom this princess, this Queen Rihanna being with somebody like ASAP Rocky, who is successful in his own right. You know
Right.
what I mean? But I think that I think it's parasocial relationships, one. It's how we perceive them and who we make them up to be in our mind. But I want to just say this here because I feel like men do it, but they do it in a different way, right? Men have parasocial relationships with celebrities, women in a different way than they do like players, like, you know what I mean? Sports players or whatever. And I'll give you, for instance, like men will see somebody like Ruby Rose, right? Very attractive, very beautiful. Like, oh, she lit, she this, that, and the third. And y'all kind of like have this idea of her, like when she started dating or fake dating Drewski. Oh my God, I can't believe like it was a whole bunch of people that were like a lot of men that was on that. You know what I'm saying? Or you remember what I'm talking about? Like, not really. Okay.
No. Ruby Rose. I know who Drewski is. Ruby
You don't know
Rose.
who Ruby Rose is? She was DDG's old girlfriend, as a matter of fact. Just so
Oh, okay.
happened. I didn't even make that connection. But she's East African, really pretty, really nice. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever. She got the whole aesthetic, baddies aesthetic. And y'all have made up in your mind that she's this, or even if like the girl is a out there, she a whore. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all have already made up in her mind, like, oh, he wiped her. Like, you don't know that lady in real life. You don't know her in real time. So why do you have it in your mind that she can't get wiped? And a part of like parasocial relationships with these celebrities is y'all have to realize that entertainment and whatever is their job. You know what I mean? When I go to work, I'm not the same person that I am, in real life. You don't know who I could be with. You feel what I'm saying? Like Rihanna, she's at work. This is what she does for work. Holly, she's at work. This is who she is for work. And I know that social media makes us closer to the celebrities. It makes us feel closer to, and we understand and we know, but we don't really know. You know what I mean? Everything on social media is curated.
Mhm.
Nothing is completely organic. You know what I'm saying? Shit, even in real life, it's hard to get real shit that's organic. I mean, come on. But I think that you said something that was interesting. You said that women date up,
Mhm.
right? And so men have to by default date down essentially.
Mhm.
That's like, I guess a basic tenet of like hypergamy.
Mhm.
But I don't necessarily agree with that because if women are dating up, like that man is also dating up too if he is going to then like fund her lifestyle or whatever because the value is different. Women are measured by their beauty, by what they can offer, by like aesthetics or what they can offer in just different ways. Men historically their power is kind of boiled into either money or protection or something like you know what I mean? Like it's very straightforward with men because it'd be a terrible guy, but he got money and access and he can have a beautiful girl. You know what I mean? And the same could be true. She can be beautiful and have money. But the man can still be terrible, not a good looking person. It's just have money. You know what I mean? And it's still kind of like it doesn't matter for him. I don't believe in like it being just because it's one way, it has to automatically be the opposite. You know what I mean? Like two things could be true at once.
Yeah, I mean, I could see from that perspective. I mean, the reason why I say what I said is because when you go, because I've had conversations like this with a bunch of women. It's like when you go to date, things may have changed, but when you go to date, you not I wouldn't say nine, maybe 8 times out of 10, you look for a guy that has something of value, right?
Mhm.
Whether I don't know why social media wants everybody to feel like they got to get with a rich person. That's come on now. What are we talking? How
Yeah.
many people are actually rich? So let's just stop. But
Right.
like when you go for a guy, he may be taller, he may be stronger, uh, average to good looking, may have some type of you know money, may have his own place, car or cars plural, and all kind of stuff, and you want to be a part of that. When you go to get with people, when you go to get with men like that, I don't even want to like. It's kind of crazy because you're effectively dating up, and if you don't have what he has, you can't meet in the middle. So somebody's got to reach down and grab somebody and pull somebody up. You see what I'm saying? That's where the whole thing comes from. Because most guys, or more often than not, it's the guy with the money, it's the guy with the this, it's the guy with the that. And this is why a bunch of guys, or well, I wouldn't say a bunch, a small amount of guys have access to almost all the women. You see what I'm saying? And that's where all of this conversation and stuff comes up. And then you got things like social media, like I just said earlier, and then times consistently changing. And it's like the conversation always has to change, and I feel like there's really no need to have it because you won't ever find any common ground, right? Because one person will say one thing, other person will say one thing, they'll completely disagree with each other. Somebody will get offended, somebody will get emotional, somebody do this, somebody, you see what I'm saying? And it's like that's why, well, that's pretty much my approach to TikTok, aside from all the other social media apps. That's why I say, hey, I don't discuss things like politics and religion, because who am I to tell you that your mindset is wrong? Huh? Who am I to tell you that what you've believed in since forever is not the way to go? That's not my place. This is just my perspective on this thing. And if you like it, that's cool. If not, we can still coexist. That's just how I feel about it.
Okay. I mean, I hear you. I understand. I don't really feel like, and I'm glad that you have that mindset because I feel like a lot of creators, especially on TikTok, because I feel like TikTok is a different beast, man. It's a different culture over there. And I mainly am on YouTube, let's just be clear. But I'm just starting to dip my pinky toe over there. And it's just like the energy is different there. I feel like people have like cult like followings, like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like Peaches McIntyre, oh my God, like all of the girlies kind of like it's just different. So
Mhm.
it's refreshing to hear you say like, who am I to like have this opinion? Because everybody to a certain degree has a certain level of like, God complex or this is the right way to do it. So it's refreshing to hear that. But I am curious to know a little bit about just your story in general and how you got into like creating content and, getting on, in front of a camera and doing something that you're afraid of. Like most recently you posted about singing in front of the camera. I thought that was so cool, man. Cause like people don't realize on the other side of fear is you moving forward to progression and what you really want. And I think that that's dope. Like, I'm like, damn, that's really what's up. How
Mhm.
many times in a week have you done something that you were genuinely afraid of? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's real strength. That's real power. That's how you mobilize for real, in your personal way and increase your own personal power.
Right.
But I want to know about, just your journey in general. Like, give me a little bit of backstory of like who are you? How'd you come to this point, and how do you feel about the success that you've been having recently?
Well, number one, it feels good because I've always been the type of guy that, like, I do things, of course, just to do them, but a portion of what I do, well, not to do them, but because I want to do them, and a portion of what I do is for it to be noticed and recognized. Like everybody else, a lot of people have like, oh, you just doing this for attention. But like every time you post something, you post a video, you post a picture, you make a comment, you want people to be like, hey, wait a minute, let me look at this thing. You see what I'm saying? You want
Mhm.
people to view it. You want people to look like what you're doing here. You want
Right,
people to actually view this, digest it, and give their own opinions on it. And
right.
so, pretty much about me, I mean, which got me to this point, I just got tired of not thinking that I could do shit.
Mhm.
It sounds so cliche, but again, it's cliche when you don't apply it to your life. I just got tired of like thinking that what I had was all I was going to ever have, right? Like
Mm.
working a job, dealing with the type of people that I dealt with, doing the type of shit that I did. You always have this. I can't speak for everybody, but me personally, I always had like this little voice in me telling me that, excuse me, that I was meant for something greater than what the fuck I was allowing myself to accept. And like I was posted on TikTok since like 2019, right? I
Okay.
took a
Yeah.
I took a break between midway through 2022 and 2023, so like a year and some months. I just stopped because it was TikTok went through that phase where it was like ass, and so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not posting on this shit. But then I came back and I was like, you know what? My frontal lobe has developed fully. Let me try this thing again, and let me give it a different approach because obviously the first way I tried to approach it didn't work. And that's how I approach Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the way I talk to people, the way I feel about myself, the way I feel about life itself, all of these things. And I just over time, like when you talk about the video I posted earlier about the confidence, over time I just got more and more confident with not just putting myself out there, but accepting the fact that not everybody's going to understand it, not everybody's going to like it, not everybody's going to accept it, and that's fine because if I'm not here for everybody, right? I'm here for who accepts what I produce.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what everybody said. Like, you know, ask you get 100 people in a room who like basketball and say, "Hey, LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan," and you just back the fuck up. Watch how they never find common ground. You see what I'm saying? Because those
Mm-hmm.
two things are not for everybody. Some people like this, some people like that, and that's just where I came from with that. I mean, I can go a little bit longer, but
Yeah.
who wants to know about
No. No, I appreciate that though. I really do. I think that I can a lot of what you're saying is resonating for me. I started YouTube a long time ago. Like, oh my God, first video would be so cringe.
it?
But like the creator journey is not one that's linear always. You know what I'm saying? Some people think it's like, oh boom, you hit and you pop, and like there's seasons of this shit is ass. I ain't making no money. This shit
Yeah.
is corny. I'm not getting no engagement. These motherfuckers is trolling. So
Mhm.
you feel like whatever, but then like something switches where you recognize like, damn, I could say something that's like impactful, you know what I mean? And it really hits. Or it forces you out of that box. Like when you have something like this on me, like but they say it's not on me, it's in me. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like that you have no choice but to have some sort of outlet. Um and I like how you kind of like just put that all together. Like I got tired of that shit. That's real.
Yeah.
I got tired of just, being funny in a group chat. I brought the shit to the internet. Like, you know what I
Very
mean?
true. That's very true. That's
So
very
that's really cool. I think that one, I appreciate, you coming on today. And then anybody who is, thinking about getting out there, thinking about changing their life in a different way, whether it's by way of content creation, whether it's by opening a daycare, whether it is if it's leaving that nigga alone. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need to do to better yourself and to get into a position that you will feel happiest, you absolutely can. And it just starts by snowballing. You know what I mean? Like you just say, you did one thing and it turns into the next thing. You know, the more things that you do that are you're afraid of and you conquer it, you do something else and it just gets bigger and it grows, much like your self-confidence. So tell people where they can follow you, where they can see your videos, your YouTube, your TikTok. Give us all your info.
Well, it's Abdul Aesthetics on everything: TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't really use Facebook like that, but YouTube, all of that. I'm not one of these people that's got a different name for every one of my social media. That just makes it hard for people to find you. And like, why would I post on these apps if I don't want people to find me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's Abdul Aesthetics everywhere. And trust me, you're gonna know it's me because you're gonna either see my face or you're gonna see this fucking logo that I made. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm everywhere.
Which is really cool, by the way. That's cool. That's what's up,
Yeah.
y'all. Make sure y'all give him a follow and, stick around, be engaged. He's really cool. You know what I mean? As always, I'm sending you guys love and light, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace.